Surprise. So, it's been a while. Apologies, but for real, I mean, you guys know, people who are paying attention, Greg and I, both had a lot of stuff come up in the course of the last year, basically. Both have new babies. I ended up selling a business and starting a new career, essentially. I'm in the process of writing a book, just a lot of positive stuff going on, coupled with the fact that, honestly, I kind of felt like a lot of what I was trying to get across to you guys, I felt like I was kind of beating a dead horse, so to speak, or just kind of reiterating the same stuff over and over again. And I think part of that is due to the fact that it is all the same stuff. I mean, you can go back and watch our old videos, but it's making, healthier decisions for ourselves in an effort to have our brain function in a way where we don't need to rely on, whatever it is, drugs or sex or whatever our vice is. And I feel like I tried my best to get my point across, but the reason for this video is due to the fact that across the world, the situation that everybody's dealing with COVID-19 or the coronavirus or whatever you want to call it, has really had a major and severe impact on pretty much the way every single person feels. This hasn't not affected anyone. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are just dealing, I think, with it, at the very least, a very low level sense of stress and or anxiety, and that's best case scenario. I mean, that's assuming that financially you're feeling good or you're secure and that everybody in your family's healthy. It's just a mere fact that every single person has had their routine or lifestyle drastically change in the course of the last 2 weeks. And that's that's best case scenario. I mean, worst case scenario, and we have some numbers that are getting ready to come out for unemployment, I believe, next week. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people aren't getting a paycheck for the foreseeable future. A lot of people have bills due. A lot of people have a really, really stressful situation going on right now. And that is definitely going to have a negative impact on the way you feel. I mean, at its most base level, what's happening is all of us are feeling a level of uncertainty, or maybe even a little bit threatened that the way that we live is not going to be able to go on. And it's clearly not. And again, there's levels to how good or bad it's going to be, but it's changing for everybody. And that brings stress, whether you like it or not. And for many of us in the addiction or recovery community at large, or if we deal or struggle with any of this stuff, that's a major, major trigger. All these things are triggers. Change in routine, changes in finances, whatever, any level of stress is obviously, it leaves room for triggers to use or to, fall back into an unhealthy lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. And, even Greg and I were talking the other day, and I'll say that Greg is a little bit more introverted than I am. I'm a little bit more of a social being. But even Greg was like, damn, dude, like I am getting these waves of whatever you want to call it, just like depression or anxiety. And it's really weird. I didn't think this was going to affect me that much. And I told him, I think everybody's struggling with that to some extent. And it sucks because even if you're, doing everything you need to be doing and you're doing everything right and you're drinking your water and eating your veggies and meditating and exercising, this is still going to hit you in some way, shape, or form. You're still going to feel the stress of what's happening. And even for Greg and myself, when we were having this conversation, it sucked because I was like, I'm doing everything that I should be doing, and yet I still have to feel this. That's not a good feeling, and it's just rough, man. And it's, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I don't have a lot to worry about. You know, again, I try to always have how should I put this? I always try to have a point of view that focuses on gratitude, and I look for the things that I'm grateful for that I have in my life. And in times like these, it makes it, you know, very clear what you have to be grateful for, because you see other people going through things that are really rough. But I guess, you know, when we were kind of talking about it, I said, damn, dude, like, you know, we should probably put some sort of video on Unbroken, because, you know, we still, and you know, we haven't made a video. I actually have the screen up here. Our last video was posted about 4 months ago, and still pretty much every day, well, literally every day, we get comments, but we still get emails from people that, you know, are asking questions, or they're asking for advice, or they're telling us, you know, how good they're doing, or whatever. And it, you know, it's hard because I wish that, you know, I was a little bit more, I wish I was better at providing things that are helpful. And I guess some of the content that we put out there has helped some people. I mean, at least from the response that we've gotten over these last couple of years. But, you know, well, somebody contacted Greg today and said, you know, now's probably a good time to put something out. And, you know, in my head, I don't really have any specific advice or fix for this, because I don't think there is one. And I think a lot of the videos that I've made individually, or that Greg and I have made collectively, say or try to get the point across that every single person and situation to that specific person is going to have to be handled differently, and you just have to do your best to be able to you know, make good decisions based on that circumstance. And it's really hard, and the more stress and obstacles that are involved in adversity, the harder making those good decisions can be. But I think something to keep in mind is that this adversity is here for a reason, and you're going to be able to make decisions so that when this passes, like it will, like everything does, you can come out on the other end either better than where you were, or worse than where you were. And that's completely up to the decisions you make, and the way that you try to frame the situation in your mind. So I guess, you know, for me, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to take this time, and because I have more of it now that I can't really leave the house, but I'm trying to frame things out and find all the positives in it, and I'm trying to, you know, use the tools that I have gained over the past couple of years, and realize that now's the time they need to be put into use. You know, they call it you know, a meditation practice, or they call it a yoga practice, or a breathing practice, or mindfulness practices, or whatever. It's a practice because usually when you're doing them, you don't need them. And now's the time where you need them. So if you haven't been practicing, you can start practicing now. And again, if you go back through some of our videos, even the more recent ones, I've put links to the things that I use to help myself. So these are you know, free meditation apps like oh god, sorry, brain fart. Headspace is a really good one. There's breathing apps like XPT, which you can find on YouTube, and you can find on the App Store and Instagram and all that good stuff. Wim Hof has a lot of good free content out right now that's really helping people. And then there's stuff like, you know, cold showers, going for a run, exercising, journaling, anything you can do to help your mind get through this in a positive way it's really gonna help you come out on the other side of whatever adversity you're facing because of this pandemic, and you're gonna be stronger because of it. And if you're, you know, actively going through withdrawal right now, because I know a lot of addiction centers and rehabilitation centers and maintenance clinics are getting hit really, really fucking hard right now. And, you know, I feel you. Greg texted me a couple weeks ago, well, I guess a couple days ago, I'm losing track of time. But he said, dude, can you imagine fucking going through that right now? And I feel for you, because I know what it's like. I've been there, and I just can't imagine having 10 more layers of stress that this most recent bullshit has brought upon us. To deal with that on top of it has to be a struggle. And for those of you who are out there fucking hanging on, please hang the fuck on, because you're gonna come through this 10 times stronger than Greg and I did. You just have to fucking keep doing what you're doing. And I know sometimes it can feel like the methadone or the Suboxone is the only thing fucking keeping you hanging on. And in many ways, I know that's true, but you gotta fucking stay strong. This is gonna test you in ways that you've never been tested before, and more than likely you'll never be tested again as long as you can get through this, you know, and maintaining the way you've been doing your thing as best you can, but do your best to hang on. And, you know, for everybody out there, it's a tough time. And, you know, if there's anything that I can do, I mean, I've been trying to keep an eye on the emails and the comments that we've been getting, or if you're looking for some advice, please reach out. Also understand that my life's fucking hectic too, so if I don't get right back to you, be patient with me. But, you know, just know that we are fucking rooting for you. A lot of people are rooting for you, and us collectively, we need you to come out on the other side of this a stronger person than when you came into it. So just know that everybody is fucking dealing with this right now. And again, if you can help somebody, help them. If you need help, ask for it. Just everybody's going to need to come together on this a little bit, and I think it's going to be relatively okay. So it's good talking to you guys. I do miss making these videos, and I hope to get back on the wagon here again soon with making these videos. So I'll do my best. But again, I'm thinking of you and wishing you all the best through this thing. Wash your hands, and I'll talk to you soon.